Have you ever watched a movie that just completely swept you off your feet and took you to a world you never wanted to leave? For millions of us, that movie was How to Train Your Dragon. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of this incredible franchise, exploring what makes it more than just a story about a boy and his dragon. It's a timeless saga about friendship, courage, and finding your place in the world, even when you feel like you don't belong. It all started back in 2010. We were introduced to the Viking village of Berk, a place where fighting dragons was a way of life.
And then we met Hiccup, a young Viking, who was, well, not very Viking-like.
He was small, awkward, and more of an inventor than a fighter.
His father, Stoic the Vast, was the chief of the tribe, a mountain of a man who just couldn't understand his son.
Everyone in Berk saw dragons as monstrous pests, creatures to be feared and destroyed, but Hiccup saw something different.
This is where the magic truly begins.
During a dragon raid, Hiccup manages to shoot down one of the most mysterious and feared dragons of all, a night fury. But when he finds the downed dragon injured and helpless, he can't bring himself to finish the job. Instead of a killer, he sees a terrified creature just as scared as he is. In that moment of empathy, Hiccup makes a choice that will change his world forever. He decides to help the dragon, whom he names Toothless. What follows is one of the most beautiful and heartwarming portrayals of friendship in cinematic history. The early scenes of Hiccup and Toothless learning to trust each other are pure movie magic. From Hiccup nervously offering a fish to the tentative first touch, to the breathtaking moment they first fly together, it's a masterclass in visual storytelling. There's almost no dialogue in these scenes, but we understand everything. We feel the bond forming between them, a connection built not on dominance, but on mutual respect and understanding. This relationship is the core of the entire franchise. Hiccup, the outcast, finds his true self through his friendship with Toothless. And Toothless, the feared night fury, finds a companion who sees beyond his fearsome exterior. Together, they challenge everything the Vikings of Berk believe about dragons. Hiccup uses his cleverness not to harm dragons, but to understand them. He builds a new tail fin for Toothless, allowing them to fly as one. This partnership is a powerful metaphor for how our relationships can help us overcome our limitations and soar to new heights. The first film culminates in an epic battle against the Red Death, a colossal tyrannical dragon that had been forcing the other dragons to raid villages. It's here that Hiccup and Toothless prove to everyone that humans and dragons can work together. They show that strength isn't about brute force, but about courage, intelligence, and teamwork. Hiccup's final sacrifice in the battle, which costs him his leg, is incredibly powerful. It mirrors Toothless's own lost tail fin, forever cementing their bond. They are two incomplete halves who make each other whole. The film ends not with a simple victory, but with a new beginning for Berk, where Vikings and dragons now live in harmony. Then, in 2014, How to Train Your Dragon took the story to a whole new level. 5 years have passed. Hiccup and Toothless are no longer the awkward boy and his secret friend. They are explorers, charting unknown territories and discovering new dragons. The world is bigger and more wondrous than they ever imagined, but with a bigger world comes bigger dangers. They encounter dragon trappers led by Erit, son of Erit, and learn of a formidable new villain, Drago Bloodfist.
Drago is the perfect antagonist for this sequel. He represents the dark side of Hiccup's philosophy.
While Hiccup builds relationships on trust and kindness, Drago builds his dragon army through fear and domination. He is what Hiccup could have become if he had chosen a different path.
The conflict becomes deeply personal when we discover that Hiccup's long-lost mother, Valka, is alive.
She, like Hiccup, has dedicated her life to dragons, but she chose to hide from the world rather than try to change it. The reunion between Hiccup and his mother is incredibly emotional, adding a new layer of complexity to his character. He's no longer just a boy trying to prove himself to his father. He's a young man grappling with a family legacy he never knew he had. The film's centerpiece is the discovery of Valka's dragon sanctuary, a breathtaking paradise ruled by a gentle, ice-breathing bewilderbeast. But this piece is shattered by Drago's arrival with his own alpha, a battle-scarred bewilderbeast controlled by fear. The clash between these two alpha dragons is a spectacle of epic proportions, and it leads to the franchise's most heartbreaking moment. Under Drago's control, the brainwashed Toothless tragically strikes down Stoic, who sacrifices himself to save Hiccup. This scene is devastating. It's a bold and mature storytelling choice that shows the real consequences of war and hatred. Stoic's death forces Hiccup to step up and become the leader his father always knew he could be. In a powerful climax, Hiccup confronts Drago not with anger, but with the strength of his bond with Toothless. He reaches his friend, breaking Drago's control and proving that love and trust are ultimately more powerful than fear. Toothless then challenges and defeats Drago's bewilderbeast, becoming the new alpha of all dragons. Hiccup, having lost his father but gained the respect of his people and the loyalty of the dragons, finally accepts his role as the new chief of Berk. It's a bittersweet but triumphant ending that perfectly sets the stage for the final chapter.
Finally, in 2019, we got How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World.
This film is a beautiful, poignant conclusion to the trilogy. It tackles the ultimate question: can humans and dragons truly coexist in a world that wants to destroy them? Berk is now a bustling, chaotic dragon Viking utopia, but it's also a target. The arrival of Grimmel the Grizzly, a cunning dragon hunter who specializes in killing night furies, poses the greatest threat they've ever faced. Grimmel is a different kind of villain. He's not a warlord like Drago. He's an intellectual predator, a dark mirror of Hiccup's own intelligence and ingenuity. He believes dragons are vermin that need to be exterminated, and he has a personal vendetta against Toothless, the last of his kind. To lure Toothless, Grimmel uses a beautiful female light fury as bait. The romance that blossoms between Toothless and the light fury is absolutely enchanting. It's a story told almost entirely through animation and body language, and it's every bit as compelling as Hiccup's human relationships. But this new love also creates a rift. Toothless is drawn to a world of his own kind, a world where he doesn't need Hiccup to fly. Hiccup, in turn, must confront his own insecurities and learn the true meaning of love. Letting go. His journey leads them to the legendary Hidden World, a stunning, bioluminescent home for dragons at the edge of the world. It's a breathtaking sequence that fulfills the promise of the franchise's title. But Hiccup realizes this paradise is for dragons alone. The human world is still too dangerous. The final confrontation with Grimmel is a thrilling and emotional roller coaster. It tests every character and brings the saga full circle. In the end, Hiccup makes the most difficult decision of his life. To keep them all safe, he must say goodbye to Toothless. He realizes that as long as humans and dragons live together, the dragons will always be targets. He selflessly chooses to let his best friend go, to lead his kind to the safety of the hidden world, where they can be free from the dangers of humanity. The farewell scene is one of the most tear-jerking moments in animation history. As Hiccup says goodbye to his best friend, we feel the weight of their entire journey together. It's the end of an era. The film then epilogues years later. We see a bearded Hiccup with his wife Astrid and their 2 children. They sail to the edge of the hidden world for one last reunion with Toothless, who now has a family of his own. The final flight, with Hiccup and Astrid's children riding the dragons, is a beautiful and hopeful promise for the future. The How to Train Your Dragon trilogy is a masterpiece of storytelling. It respects its audience by growing with them, tackling mature themes of loss, prejudice, and sacrifice without ever losing its sense of wonder and adventure. From the stunning animation and John Powell's unforgettable musical score to the deeply moving character arcs, every element works in perfect harmony. It's a story that teaches us that true strength comes from compassion, that courage means facing our fears, and that the strongest bonds are forged in love. It's a story that will stay with us forever. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey back to Berk. What's your favorite moment from the series? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into the movies you love. See you next time.
And then we met Hiccup, a young Viking, who was, well, not very Viking-like.